on the top right over there. It'll bring up
I see
the
the chat.
chat.
Yeah, I see the
Yeah.
chat.
So one sec. Trying to see if I can hold on. Uh, thought George made a thing about it today.
Hmm?
So I thought George made a post about it today.
It's every Friday, right?
The betting show will be every Friday. Yeah.
Do you guys shoot for the same time every time too, or are you just going for just right now?
Um,
Just
it's kind of when
available.
it's kind of whenever when I'm free kind of thing. Because work has kind of picked up a little bit. My buddy said he didn't see it. Yeah, because I was gonna shout out your podcast.
No, no, it's not a big deal, dude. You can just introduce me as a recurring guest.
Oh, for sure, because you're on a couple times last year.
I was on once last year, dude. I'll hop on periodically, mix up a little bit, just so it's it's not if it goes well, just
If
so
it
it's
goes
not
well.
the same thing over and over again.
Oh, what up, Steve?
Wait, where do you see that at?
Chat.
I'm on the
See the
wrong
chat
chat.
over there?
I'm on the wrong chat, dude. Oh, there we go.
All right. All right. Hold on. All right. So I've not done the intro. George always does the intro.
He comes in with the heat, dude. It's a hard
he
person to follow up. A lot,
he comes.
a lot of emotion,
He's
a lot of
he's
energy.
a lot of energy, and I ran out of Zoa. I ran out of Zoa, so I don't have any energy. Shout out to George is in.
You need a
Yeah.
smelling salt. That's what you need. Take
Smell
take a quick rip, and you're ready to go. You're a
the
warrior.
fucking the smelling salts. Oh shit.
Unofficial sponsor.
The unofficial sponsor of the smelling salts. All right, y'all. What up, though? Thanks for hopping into the Gridiron Guy betting show. About to get started here in a second. Uh, make sure I got my slide ready to go. All right, we are good. George, you're a hard person to live up to. I know you in here. I know the one liquor shop got the Zola. I forgot to pick some up when I was there. All right, y'all. Here we go, George. Hope I do George justice. Welcome to the Gridiron Guy. It's your boy A2. I'm here with my boy Matt Cassar.
Nice to be on, guys. Thanks for inviting me on here. I know I'm not the fantasy G, but I'll sub it and do the best I can. So I mean, big shoes to fill here.
Big shoes to fill. Big shoes to fill. This is going to be our weekly segment on Fridays, our betting show. We're hoping to bring you guys 4 episodes a week. That's what we're going to aim for. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Obviously, thank you. Make sure you guys follow the Twitch stream, follow the YouTube stream. Right now, we're just live on YouTube, live on Twitch. We're not live on Podbeam. We got to work something out with Podbean right now. So a little technical difficulties with Podbean. So we're gonna rock it over here. Also, be sure to listen to our previous episodes. Released our top 100 episode this morning. Obviously, we recorded it live yesterday, but that's going to be that's live right now up on all your podcast services. Podbean, Apple Music, or Apple Podcasts. Right? It's Apple Podcasts,
Yep.
Stitcher, Amazon Alexa,
Spotify.
the and Spotify too. Spotify. So far, you guys are listening to it on Spotify, Amazon, Podbeam, and Apple. If you guys do listen on Apple, be sure to give us a 5-star rating. Try to get some ratings in there, and it'll boost us up. So this show just strictly going to be futures bets because obviously football is right around the corner. I think there's football. There's college football next weekend. I'm pretty sure. I think
There
there's
might be.
Illinois.
I know for sure Labor Day is usually the big weekend, but they might throw in a random like Thursday
Yeah,
or
they're calling it week 0. So I think Illinois and it's in my notes here. Illinois, and Nebraska. I believe it's next week.
A Big Ten game's that early?
Yeah,
Interesting.
Big Ten game.
Interesting. Usually there's some like Norfolk State versus Nebraska the first like 2 weeks of the year, then they get in some random you know local games after that.
Yeah, no, and then obviously Michigan State are the next week. So we're gonna give you guys. I'm gonna start off with some college football here. Um, start off with the Heisman. If you guys follow us on Twitter, I posted this up kind of early. There's one guy I really like to win the Heisman Trophy this year, C.J. Stroud. He's the favorite to be the starting quarterback for the Ohio State University. Um, and his odds have already went down. I think earlier in the month it was like plus 1,800, and when I posted it at plus 1,400 was what I got it at. Now it's down to plus 1,100. So the bet the sharps as we call it in the betting world are starting to bet that down a little bit.
Yeah,
The next person, huh?
I'm
Go ahead.
I'm gonna jump on Sharp real quick. I'm assuming he's another dual threat Ohio State like prototypical quarterback, right?
No, he's a little. So he's not super dual threat, but he can run. He's more your traditional pocket passer.
Okay.
Kind of similar to, I'm not gonna say Dwayne Haskins because he the way Dwayne Haskins was in college is kind of similar to what he's doing. This guy was at the Elite 11 camp with all the hyped up quarterbacks that I'm gonna name later. Well, one more quarterback I'm gonna name later. So yeah, him, C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, and DJ Ungale. Those guys are the California quarterbacks that were at the Elite 11 camp. So they're kind of similar styles. Not run first quarterbacks, but they can run if they need to.
And that's important too, though, because Ohio State's bringing back probably the best receiving core in the nation with Bama, losing
Yep.
Waddle and losing Devonta Smith. So I know Ohio State's bringing back a lot of studs in the receiving core. So I mean, they might air it out like a Big 12 offense this year.
And that's the main reason why I put them up there. And the reason why I like them is not just because I'm a fan of Ohio State, but just the fact that you just named that they're returning. Uh, one of Roberts who should have went to the NFL last year. He
Olave,
stayed for
right?
his senior year. Olave.
Yeah.
Then they got Garrett Wilson, who's a junior. He'll probably leave this year. And then they had the two freshmen last year, who kind of came out of nowhere, some big. So they're gonna be able to air it out. And then another guy I like is the Clemson quarterback DJ Ungale. I can't pronounce his full name, but
Well,
DJ
I won't
Ungale.
either, so don't look over here. So this is all on you, dude.
I got you. So yeah, so he's plus 1,100. He plays in a soft conference, the ACC. So, which kind of odds crazy because he was like this the second highest odds. Now he's tied with C.J. Stroud at I think at the fifth highest odds. So, obviously, as a Clemson quarterback, they got the pedigree for quarterbacks with Deshaun Watson and Trevor Lawrence. So that's a good one there. Moving on to
Let's
the
not,
conf. Huh?
let's also throw in some other names. Give me some Taj Boyd some love too. What's that
Oh,
guy?
Taj Boyd.
John Parker Wilson. I mean, we can name a few more. We got a couple guys back there at Clemson, dude. Just quarterback university over there.
Yeah, Clemson is they could be quarterback U, and then obviously they have a guy, Hunter Johnson, the guy who's playing in Northwestern. He was a Clemson quarterback, but he transferred.
If he transferred Northwestern, he's probably not very good.
Oh, he's not. He's not very good. No, he's not very good. But he's projected to be the starter over the. There's a guy who transferred there from. Oh man, his name's gonna throw me off through a loop. He transferred from SEC. Shit. Oh, Helinski. Is it Ryan Helinski?
I don't know anything about
You don't know. That's fine. It's I think it's Helinski.
They're gonna run quick slant every single play. It's only play they got in the book, so they're not gonna do much.
That is true.
Shout out Big Chew, by the way. Thanks for the call out there. Appreciate it.
I mean, obviously we know that you're the better caster.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Going over the conference, so there's two teams I like not favorites to win the conference. I don't like to choose favorites when I do these. Georgia is at plus 190. Now, hear me out on Georgia. They're obviously the second best SEC team there. They recruit just as well as Alabama does. They have JT Daniels, who is the second favorite to win the Heisman. He's the second favorite to win the Heisman. So and like I said, they recruit just like Alabama does. If Alabama has an injury or Bryce Young isn't what we thought he would be, Georgia would be that next team up. That's why I like them at plus 190. Some good value there.
And really, because the East is always pretty much a cakewalk for the last few
Yeah.
years. So, I mean, Georgia usually has an easy just walk to the conference title game where Bama still has to get through. Like, if they get upset by, like, an Auburn, the Iron Bowl, or if they get upset by LSU or something, just that one loss, they could lose a tiebreaker. They're not then competing for the It's like the Michigan Ohio State thing, you know,
Yeah,
when Michigan loses to Ohio State, this could be their only Big Ten loss. They're not going to the Big Ten title; they came in the Big Ten. So a similar
yeah,
thing to Alabama, the SEC West is just much more loaded in the East. So like Georgia is a nice like value play with 190.
yeah, exactly. Because just exactly what you said. I wasn't gonna put Wisconsin up there for Big Ten because obviously Ohio State is a heavy favorite to win the Big Ten because just like you said with the SEC East, it's just like the Big Ten West. It's like Wisconsin, Nebraska, Northwestern. It's not too many people there. And then USC out in Pac-12.
They got Slovan, right? Still a quarterback. He's
Yep,
still there.
Slovan.
He's back. He was real good when they. I saw that he was a freshman last year, I think.
Yeah, he was. I believe he was a sophomore.
Sophomore. I know when they put him in, like he energized their team. And they pulled off a few like a streaky Pac-12 schedule there, but he was putting up numbers for a while.
He was putting up numbers, and USC is they're starting to keep those California kids. That's very important for USC. You don't want those California kids to go to the Michigan, Ohio State, Texas. A lot of those California kids when USC is down, they transfer out. So USC kind of gets hurt there.
Who's their main competition too? I don't think the Pac-12 really has anybody that's going to be
No,
a top 10 team.
I mean you got Oregon. Oregon's defense is good. They got uh Thibodeau. Chu, is that? I'm
Yep,
hoping I pronounced
yep.
his name
Yeah,
right.
he's going to be top five.
Thibodeau.
Yeah, the edge rusher. Yep.
Yeah, he's a beast. And then they have normally have the best offensive line in football. So, but their defense is hyped up this year for sure. And then you got Washington Huskies. They can surprise people as well. But I mean, we don't really watch a lot of Pac-12 football, because
No.
we don't stay up that late.
Ever since they scrapped Pac-12 after dark, that was the only Pac-12 I really cared about. Like the 2:30 games, like 2:30 in the morning, you have like Washington State versus Arizona State, and it's like 63-56 triple overtime. I mean, that's
Yeah,
what I'd stay up just for the entertainment value.
exactly. Um, Somebody wrote in the chat, Penix Jr. for IU for Heisman watch. If he can
He,
stay healthy,
yeah, he got hurt. I think versus Ohio State, wasn't it? Wasn't it late in the year? So I
I
didn't
don't
know.
think I don't,
One
I
of
don't
those
think it was
games.
against Ohio State. It was one of those games though.
And oh no, I want to bring up one guy. I think might be the favor or the co-favorite Heisman is a Rattler at Oklahoma. Is there a reason you're fading him, or is there a reason you like the other guys better than him? But Lincoln Riley, they're gonna have a high-powered offense as always, and he has the track record with Baker and Kyler of having actual Heisman Trophy winners. So I was
Yeah.
wondering what you think about Rattler, or is his odds
So
too low for you?
his odds aren't bad. I just like the other value of the other people. I mean, you can definitely sprinkle. I mean, obviously these are all sprinkles. Rattler's the heavy favorite. I don't the heavy favorite. I don't think has won the Heisman in a while. That's kind of the reason why I stayed away from it. Look at last year. Devontae Smith was nowhere near the favorite. The year before, Burrow.
I
He
think
was a
the
dark
other
horse.
guy up there too was Howell at
Sam
UNC.
Howell.
But
Yeah,
with him, I'm actually kind of afraid of him. I'm glad you didn't touch on him either because they lost Williams and they lost
Carter.
thank you the Jets, the two running backs, and you actually
Yeah,
look at the stats that they really carried a big part of the offense. So I
yeah,
don't know if UNC really is like a powerhouse of producing like skill position players. So I think Howell he might be still a great pro prospect, but I think he's going to lose a little production when you lose two like top running backs that came out of the draft.
yeah. That's exactly why I didn't put him on there because um, he's projected to be I think the top number two quarterback after Rattler, but I don't really see it. I mean, he's good, but I don't think we'll see if he can carry the team, without those workhorse running backs. Gordon Fantasy G is MIA, but I got the Fantasy G's. He's actually in the chat. Comment to him in the
Cool.
chat. He's in the chat. But I have his picks later. I'll go over his picks for him. So two more things on the college football. Um, let's go with the to win the whole thing. You touched on Oklahoma, so I'm gonna touch them first. They're plus 800. So obviously they have probably the second easiest path besides Clemson to make it to the college football playoff because the Big 12 the Big 12 has no teams that besides Iowa State. Iowa State can probably give them a little bit of trouble, but Rattler should
I
just.
wouldn't be too worried about the Cyclones. I'm also not buying this Matt Canada hype out of Iowa State, but that's just
Oh,
me.
is it Canada or is it Campbell? Is it
I
Matt
don't know.
Campbell?
Same thing.
It's Campbell. It's
A
Campbell.
coach. It's something like that. I mean, there's like
Yeah,
Matt. There's a coach too. I mean, they're probably just okay. They're floating around.
yeah. No, and then Oklahoma's probably going to have the best offense um, it was between them and Ohio State because they got a lot of weapons. So, but like I said, they have the easiest path besides Clemson. So I like them at plus 800. Ohio State's plus 600. You can probably put a little sprinkle there, but I don't see them winning the championship. The only way they win is if their defense steps up this year. They have a lot of young players on the defense of the front seven, but their secondary should be pretty experienced. And then Georgia's plus 500. Like I said, that's just strictly if Alabama slips up.
That's where you get the good value though, because the only reason Georgia's being devalued is because they have to get through Alabama,
Mm-hmm.
and if somehow Alabama they don't have to play Alabama, let's say again they lose to LSU or to Mississippi State, Mississippi, whatever, that they don't make it the conference title game, then
Yeah.
Georgia becomes like an instant favorite right up there with the Clemsons and the Oklahoma instead of being a nice like value play.
Oh, for sure. That's like why I put them there.
And
And
just
then
another thing too, what I'm saying is Kirby Smart. They're in the playoff every year. It looks like it's been pretty consistent, same teams. I feel like Georgia's
yeah,
a hungry team that's been like real close, knocking on the door for a few years now. They're just ready to break out.
they should have beat Alabama when Tua came in. They blew
Yeah,
that game.
yeah. When they benched Hurts, I think
Yeah, and they've been hurt.
that was the semifinal game, I believe.
No, that was a championship.
Oh, was it? Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
yeah, okay, so
Yeah,
yeah,
that was a championship.
exactly. It's again a chip on the shoulder, and Kirby Smart's definitely gonna have the dogs motivated.
Oh, for sure. They got to be motivated. They gotta do something because you can't. They recruit at such a high level that they, to keep faltering is crazy. All right, let's go to some win totals really quick. Uh, I'm gonna just touch. I wrote two down there, but really I'm only confident in one. This is where we're going to differ here. But Michigan under seven, or Michigan win total set at 7.5. I think it's very. That's probably one of the sharpest lines I see for win totals is 7.5 because we kind of talked pre-show, but I like the under. You like the over.
Yeah, I'm not saying the over as in they're going to be like, playoff bound, all these things, but I think Michigan's going to
Right.
be definitely a competing team this year just because I feel like this is a time where Jim Harbaugh's kind of like his back's against the wall that maybe he's more willing to change. And I'm like one of the
Yeah.
few people that's still in his corner where I think he hasn't done the best job, but he's still doing a very good job. Maybe people's expectations are a little off. Where maybe now he's getting more control to Gaddis from the offense. They got rid of Don Brown. Maybe it's just some
Yeah.
fresh ideas and trusting your assistants more. And they,
Hmm.
they have the talent. Like they have draft picks every single year. You still
Every
have
year.
youth coming in. Like I think they're going to be a relevant team, but like I don't know. I think like an 8-4, 9-3 regular season is definitely like in the cards.
Yeah. This is why I like the under. I mean, like I said, you can take your pick. I like both of them. Like both of them could hit. The odds is really sharp line here. They will hit if their defense is where it needs to be. I think most of the time is when they get in trouble is when they play these teams that can just run the ball or run. Granted, Don Brown's gone, but they're switching from a 4-3 to a 3-4, which could be some issue if they didn't recruit the right players to fit that scheme.
I felt bad for him last year too because the play call wasn't great on both sides of the ball. And you throw in
No.
when Eden Hutchinson was when your leaders went down. Pay,
Mhm.
who's a first round pick, was banged up. He missed like half the season, and then it was just from there. I don't know if someone else missed games too, but like they already kind of thin, and then you lose those two guys for like your key like game. It's like if the Rams lost Jalen Rams or Aaron Donald. I know it's like those guys aren't as good as them, but it's like those are the pieces you rely on. So if
Yeah,
those guys are relying are out, then the whole defense kind of falls apart from there. And you throw in that the play call, Don Brown just kind of progressively got worse, where it
Mhm.
was they were just open the floodgates, getting gashed left and right.
Yeah, and like I said, they do have a first time play caller on defense. Is that can be a little issue. He is coming from an NFL game, so that can be
So
a thing that turn around.
the one note on it, I don't know his name off the top of my head, but I know that he was one of the John Harbaugh's assistants, and he then recommended him to Jim. And
Yeah,
John actually said that if Martindale would have left the Ravens to be a head coach or to go somewhere else, that he was going to be next in line to be the next Baltimore Ravens defensive coordinator. And that
yeah,
historically has been a very good position for like coaches. So if John Harbaugh feels that well about him, then I will have faith in at least that Harbaugh. So
yeah. And then one last thing was interesting to note. If you follow the Gridiron Guy on Twitter, I posted up a little stat about the Michigan coaches. Since 2010, they've been unranked three times in the preseason, and the first two times was this
It was Hoke. There,
Hoke,
it was Hoke,
yeah,
and
and
let's really count
Rich
Rich Rod.
Rod, Rich Rod, yeah. So when Rich Rod's last year they were unranked, obviously he left or got fired. Sorry. Then Hoke's last year they're unranked, he got fired. So this is Harbaugh's. They're unranked this year. So if the trend continues, then obviously he'll be gone next year. But you seem
Yeah,
to like him, so
I could talk for many podcasts in my defense of Jim Harbaugh's job, but this isn't the time nor the
this not
place.
the pod. Yes, yeah,
Yeah,
this ain't
so
it.
what else we
Moving
got?
on.
Any more win totals we got for college ball?
I mean, I put Michigan State on there, but it's
What's
it's
there's
it's
5.5, maybe 6?
it's 5.5.
Okay.
If they beat Michigan, then they'll be the sixth win. If they lose to Michigan, then they'll be at 5.
I don't know
That's
how
how I
the
see it.
roster's shaping out, but again, I try to bet on coaches in college 'cause I think that's they mean the most. So I feel like Mel Tucker has got at least a nice backing. I feel like the players love him. So I mean, I might just lean towards the over there just
I'm
because
I'm leaning I'm leaning towards the over.
all you need is bowl eligible there. So 6 wins,
Yeah.
especially I look at the non-conference, but if they have like 3 to 4 in easy non-conference games, they can clean up a game versus like Northwestern or versus like Indiana or Illinois or something like that. Like, they're good at 6.
The first game is Northwestern. I think I had a chance to get them at +6.5. Now it's down to +3.5. So it
Yeah,
got bet
you might be
way
riding
down.
Western last year 'cause I think they were at a New Year's Six bowl or something close to that. Western isn't
Yeah.
bad; they're not good.
No. NFL.
Yes.
So we got a couple of NFL season, props up there. If you want to jump on one of them and talk about which one you like up there.
Yeah. I guess I'll just start easy with the first one on the list here. Is I love a bounce back here from Joe Burrow. I thought he was very impressive as a rookie. So before the injury, so specifically the two props we're looking at were I think they're both -110 or -115, something like that for the
It
odds.
depends on it depends on what books you look at. Yeah,
Okay.
but the consistence I think it's -110 for the passing touchdowns, and I think it's minus one. I think FanDuel had it at minus 120 for the passing.
So it was 27 touchdowns basically. He has to get
Yeah.
27 touchdowns or more, and then 4,200 yards.
Hmm.
And one of these things that I had to remember and teach myself going through this again is going to be a 17-game NFL schedule. So
Exactly.
I'm used to being like, oh man, 4,000 yards is kind of a lot. And then be add an extra game, you can throw another 250 yards right onto that. Then it becomes much more manageable. Same
Yeah,
thing for
exactly.
win totals we'll touch on where you're like, wait, 11, it's kind of a 11-5. Like, oh, wait, it's a 17th
The
game now.
17th game.
6 isn't like the same thing.
Hmm.
So one of the reasons I like Burrow was because just run the numbers. If he plays all 17 games, it's 247 passing yards he would need a game, which to me
Yeah.
is that's easily manageable for him. He was at 268 yards a game before getting
Yeah.
injured, and that's
Yeah.
including a game he got hurt before halftime.
Yeah.
And then
Exactly.
you throw in now too that they have a Jamar Chase who already has a repertoire with, and he looks like a
Mhm.
superstar receiver on the outside. You're getting Tyler Boyd back in the slot. You have T. Higgins the outside and a secondary receiver, a healthy Joe Mixon. I
Mhm.
just think all signs are pointing up for Joe Burrow to hit for sure the yards, touchdowns, maybe not, but for sure the yards. I'm all on that.
Yeah, and then one thing is going to be they're going to be down on a lot of games too, so
Yeah.
they're
So
gonna have to throw the football.
100% agree. Like they're a team that's going to have to, especially in division. When you're playing Cleveland, you're playing Baltimore. I didn't see the rest of their schedule again off the top of my head, but I don't know which the cross divisional games were. But these teams that their philosophy already leans towards pass, then you throw
Yeah.
they're going to be down in a lot of games. It's the same reason why I guess I'll transition right to him. One guy I have on here who we both love is Matt Ryan. I think he's going to kill all of his overs just because
Yeah.
he's just going to throw the rock all over the place.
I feel like they've and I'm gonna touch on the prop that I had in here about Matt Ryan since you said him. Matt Ryan, FanDuel has him to get the most yards at plus 1,300.
But I think
Plus
that's pretty
1,300. Yeah, yeah, because think about the year he had last year. It's kind of a down year, but he still threw for almost I think close to 4,500 yards.
I got some numbers for you on Matt Ryan. So he's one of the guys I kind of wanted to touch on here. In the last 9 seasons, he's had over 600 attempts in 7 of them. And then
Yeah.
in 2 of those, and this is a 16-game schedule. And
Mhm.
2 of those were when they were like 12-4, where you don't need him to throw the ball every single play. You know, you can rest him up in the fourth quarter. I think like Devonta Freeman was running back then, hand him the ball, Tevin Coleman kind of thing. And then in 8 of the last 9 seasons, he's thrown for over 4,500 yards. And I
Yeah,
think the under is happening because Julio Jones is gone. But I look at
yeah,
it as Tennessee was very explosive with Arthur Smith, and I know it's a little different just roster construction, but I still think he has the play calling that I would trust. You throw Matt Ryan's the veteran; he's going to throw the ball around. Atlanta's going to be terrible. I assume they're going to be bad. So I think
We
it's going to
assume, right? We assume.
be. So I'm assuming it'll be bad. And Julio, as much as we love Julio, he's an absolute like first ballot Hall of Famer, just one of the best receivers in the game. His health, especially later in his career, is a major issue. So Ridley's gonna be out there. You throw in Kyle Pitts now. I think that the 4,500 yards and even like I don't know, yeah, I don't know. To me, it's a lock. The most
Yeah,
passing yards I like as well. It's great value.
yeah, but the 4,500 yards I like a lot. I think minus 115 is a discount. You gotta play that. Um, yeah, and then you want to touch on? I know you got some Rams on here. Do you want to touch on them real quick?
Yeah, just because I'll throw out the complete just the bias out here, so it'd be well known that I am a huge Rams fan, but I also think that gives me a little bit of insight where I've been following
Hmm.
the team for years. I follow all the just the just the articles, the training camp stuff, and what I've just been picking up on is the Stafford to Cooper Cup connection is there.
Hmm.
I feel like every other day you go on the Rams Twitter account, you're going to be seeing like a 40-yard pass, perfect dime Stafford to Cup.
Yeah,
Stafford loves guys in the slot anyway. Cooper Cup's been the primary slot guy, and what it sounds like is Cooper Cup and Robert Woods are both not coming off the field at all. They're going to
yeah.
have Tutu Atwell and Deshaun Jackson as deep threat slash gadget players, and then Van Jefferson is a sleeper, just just like a spell back for a spell receiver to
Yeah.
come in and just just keep guys fresh. So one of the things I like about Cup a lot was his over for yards is only 1,000, and to
Yeah,
me that's
isn't Woods lower?
I think Woods is like 990 or
Yeah, not
990, like something stupid, like 10 yards less. It wasn't a big deal. But you look at Cooper Cup, it's again in 17 game schedule, it's only 59 receiving yards a game. Last year he had 980 yards in 15 games, so he missed one, and he was banged up in three of them where he had to leave the game early. In the season before, he had 1,200 yards. Season
mhm.
before he tore his ACL, he was on pace for 1,100 before he again tore his ACL. So I think it's one of those safe ones where, with the connection with Stafford, with the Rams, it looks like too that the offensive line's a little shaky.
Mhm.
Losing Cam Akers, I think the Rams might just really rely on Stafford. The previous Rams teams really focused on feeding Gurley, feeding Akers when he came in, the run and stuff, the pass, so to speak, the play action. That was
Yeah.
part because of Goff, part because the balanced offense. I think with the man crush McVay for Stafford, the Rams are going to air the ball out a lot this year, and I
Hmm.
think Cooper Cup and Robert Woods are going to be the main benefactors from this.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, I think they'll have two receivers go over 1,000 yards. So if you can parlay on both, I will parlay on both. Um, Speaking of receivers, I'm gonna touch on one that I wrote down here: DeAndre Hopkins for most receptions at plus 500 on FanDuel. Obviously, he's going to be in a heavy pass offense in Arizona. Later in the year, he kind of got started with getting more and more targets thrown to him in that offense. So I think with them spreading it out and having
What do you think
having
with
four receiver sets more.
I was gonna say, what do you think with the additions of Rondell Moore and AJ Green to the offense? So that's gonna affect Hopkins' like target share at all.
No, I don't think so. I especially AJ Green. I mean, maybe he have a resurgence, but they have weapons.
I don't see AJ Green doing anything.
Yeah, I didn't get that signing. You got Hopkins, you got Kirk, you got Andy Isabella. You drafted Rondell Moore. I don't think you need another wide receiver. So I didn't get the addition of AJ Green. I see that almost as a non-factor, but I just think I see them running a lot of four wide receiver sets
Yeah.
and kind of and just being a heavy pass offense or short, kind of
Oh,
dink and duck
The one
Texas
thing
Tech offense.
the one thing kind of worries me with Hopkins is where I'm not kind of crossed over here. I do like him getting a lot of catches. I noticed it last year. He kind of lost his big play threat, but he's getting a lot more short yardage
Yeah.
plays. I don't know if that was play design. I don't know if that was Kyler Murray. I
No,
don't
it's
know.
all
I
it's all
didn't
play design.
I didn't really know, but the only thing that scares me with Hopkins is he's starting to get that age where receivers traditionally do start to like really regress. It's usually those
Yeah.
late like 28, 29, and I love his talent. I just don't know if he's the same Hopkins we saw 2 or 3 years ago with Deshaun Watson. But I agree with the play call they have. He can easily rack up 120, 130 catches.
Yeah, I can see them easily running a lot of slants, a lot of crossing routes, a lot of screens for Hopkins, just getting him involved. I don't really. You go back and look at Texas Tech; they didn't really throw the ball deep all the time. They're kind of like a lot of quick passes. Um, any other props you want to talk about?
Um, I guess the only other ones I really had highlighted here was sticking with Los Angeles, but with the Chargers, is two guys that I really like are I feel like Herbert 28 touchdowns, I feel like it's gonna be pretty easy because or 29 touchdowns, I say passing touchdowns. They
Yeah,
really don't have the power back, to pound it in. They have Eckler, but I feel like they're going to be more of a spread you out in the red zone and then hope to get some sort of like pick play or something. And all I hear again from Brandon Staley and the Chargers is they're going to air the ball this year. So
yeah.
I love what I saw to Herbert last year. I was a hater during the draft process, and
All right.
he instantly turned me like an idiot. So I mean, he looks fantastic. Keenan Allen's one of those underrated receivers. You throw in Mike Williams, my other guy I want to touch on here is I think he could be finally been waiting for 4 seasons for Mike Williams to finally break out. I think
As long as he stays healthy.
that's the big thing. Him and his back, but it's a contract year for him. They're going to air it out. He's number 2 option, maybe number 3 if you include Eckler. He now has a stud QB with him. I think that Mike Williams and Justin Herbert connection could be lethal, and
Mhm.
his over unders, especially for like 5.5 touchdowns, is the over under. I could easily see the over on that. Like he had 5 just last year. In 2 seasons ago, he had 10 with Philip Rivers. So
Yeah.
I think 6 touchdowns is like almost a lock, and then 900 yards. Maybe I don't know if he stays healthy to get it, but that's a little more on the fence on. But 6 touchdowns for Mike Williams, easy. 29 touchdowns for Herbert, I could easily see that as well. Again, especially with 17 games.
Yeah. I feel like because Herbert had 31 touchdowns last year.
Well, the one thing I like about Chargers too was they drafted Slater out of Northwestern, and
Yeah.
I believe they signed the center from Green Bay. Uh,
Ryan. Yeah. Ryan Lindsay, Georgia now.
Yeah, so I mean,
Ryan
just
Lindsay.
solidifying the offensive line for a rookie quarterback or a young quarterback, throwing in
Yeah.
you have weapons at running back and receiver. I just like that offense in general to really succeed. So I like to bet on those players in those high-powered offenses.
Yeah. Yeah. And speaking of, I'll wait to say what I'm gonna say, and we just go if you get with props. I was gonna go to the win totals that
Yeah,
we uh,
go
we
for it.
had down here.
Yep.
Um, so I'm gonna touch on two really quick that I wrote down. Seahawks under 10 at -110. I just feel like that division is super competitive, and I had to think about it's 17 games, so it's like you know 9-8. Can I see them going 9-8? Because it's under 10. So if it's 10 wins, I push. That's why I'm gonna play it.
What if Russ is cooking though?
Traditionally, Russ and Kyler Murray, they week 1 through name the week.
Oh, they're Mr. September Heisman like Tate Fortier.
They are
Robertson?
Michigan quarterbacks. They're Michigan quarterbacks. They're hot shit for the first couple weeks and then downhill. So I mean, but mainly just that division. I mean, you think about it. Like Seattle's good. Their defense isn't that good. It might be better this year. But then you have San Francisco, hopefully healthy. You got the Rams, and then you got Arizona, who can probably win 8 wins,
That's such a
nine
weird.
wins.
It's such a weird division to me because I see
Such a
like
weird division.
strengths and flaws in each team. Like even
Right.
again, as a Rams fan, I look at it, I go, well, our defense is going to regress. Our offensive line's a question mark.
The
Then
running
San
game.
Fran is like injuries slash the QB situation.
Yeah.
Seattle is the defense actually good? Is Russ cooking? Like what happens if Carson gets hurt again? Is the offensive line actually fixed? And then
Yeah.
Arizona is they're just a mess too. So every team you look at, you go, you can see them winning the division, or you can see them finishing 6-11 or whatever.
The only problem with Arizona that I've seen so far is Queensberry doesn't know how to make adjustments. Like that's the biggest thing because he'll come with for the first, like I said, for the first 8 weeks they'll be rolling on all cylinders, and then after that the defensive coordinator figures them out and not let them do what they were doing earlier and what they were successful doing. And obviously Murray got hurt later in the year too, but I like the under because it's under 10 on FanDuel, so it's not 10.5 or it's not 9.5. So I like the under 10 because I said if they win 10 games, I push.
right.
Obviously if
And,
they win
and they're
nine,
not going to. They're not going 11-6. Let's be
no,
honest. They're not going
no.
11-6.
And then the Lions. So I just played the Lions under 5 at -120. It's pretty much the same concept. Is that it's it's not a under five, it's not an under 4.5, it's under 5. So if they hit 5, I push. That's why I played that one.
The one that I threw in as against another bottom feeder is the under in Houston because let's just be
Yeah,
honest, just everything I've seen from Houston the last year, I have no interest in that team at all. And then you throw in Deshaun Watson, situation is not going to get fixed anytime soon. I don't
no,
even know. Was it Tyrod Taylor's new quarterback then? I don't know who else they
yeah,
had.
no,
And
it'll be Taylor, and then they drafted what the fuck did they drafted some guy in the second round. I feel sorry for him. They got drafted
and
there.
Coley, I think his name is the coach. Is
The
I
coach is
don't know.
clueless. The
I
coach
yeah,
is clueless.
I just think you throw in the bad coach with the bad quarterback situation with the bad roster. I see like a 2-15 written all over it.
I mean, hey, if you were feeling frisky, just toss the $10 on them to go 0-17.
I honestly might. They are so bad. Even like the your leader JJ Watt's gone now. So it's like
Yeah,
I don't see them doing anything. There's no positives from that team for me.
no. And the other one I had on here is super juicy. Is Texans over 9 wins and minus 150.
Wait, you
It's
did
not
that? Oh, so if Watson comes
over
back,
over. Sorry, no over.
yeah, you're saying if
Texans.
Watson comes back, you're gonna hammer the. You're hoping that Watson comes back, then you're gonna hammer Houston.
No. I'm saying Titans.
Oh, I thought you said Texans. By the way.
No, I probably did. I read it and said Texans. No, sorry, Titans. Titans over 9 at minus 150.
Yeah, I mean, you got again based off the division. You're looking at Indy's got quarterback issues. They're a very talented roster, very well coached team. They have some issues. You throw in Jacksonville, rookie quarterback, Urban Meyer transition. I I think they're gonna be like a 5, 6, 7 win team. I don't think it'll be anything very strong. And then you're throwing in Houston. We just mentioned our dumpster fires. So yeah, just based off the division, I think Tennessee is definitely in the driver's seat in that offense with Tannehill. I'm waiting to fall back to earth. Derrick Henry, AJ Brown, Julio, if he stays healthy, like their offensive line, they're definitely a very good team. And again, I love betting on coaches. Mike Vrabel to me has shown he's been a very respectable NFL coach.
And really quick, shout out to George. I forgot to mention his play that he has here. For props is Aaron Rodgers over 35.5 passing touchdowns at minus 115. So
He just wants to again a motivated redemption Aaron Rodgers.
I had to put it in there because he wrote it down. So, but it's not a bad play. What do you have? He had 40 passing touchdowns last year.
Something like that. It's,
Yeah, he said, "Heck yeah." All right. Well, so really quick, let's go to divisions really quick, and I'm gonna mention some of George's picks that he has for division. So Washington football team division winner plus 230. I like that play a lot. That division, everyone's plus odds, so you can take your pick, and there's value all over that division.
Dak's banged up right now. That who cares about the Giants? Like that team's like a mutiny right now on Joe Judge. And then the
Hmm.
Eagles are I don't know what's going on with their team either right now with the Jalen Hurts and stuff. So
Yeah.
Washington's to me is the most stable team, and they have the most
Hmm.
reliable part of the team is that defense is
That
elite.
defense.
So I think they're going to be
Yeah.
competing every game. So I like that play as well.
And then obviously Green Bay division winner. Now that Aaron Rodgers is back, minus 160. Uh, Buffalo division winner minus 150. These are heavy juice plays, but you can't really see another team taking that division. And then he has a little parlay here, which on FanDuel you can parlay this: Green Bay, Buffalo, Kansas City all win their division plus 270.
It's not bad.
It's not bad at all. Those are heavy. Well, Kansas City is a heavy favorite. They're like minus 270, but the other two are minus 160, minus 150. You can take them there.
Just for a random shout out here, I made a couple weeks ago. I think I was texting you about this too. I have a random feature that's the Buffalo Bills to win the AFC East and the USA men's basketball team win the gold medal. So one's down so far. So I hit USA basketball. It was like
Yeah,
minus 250 because they fell or was minus 170. They fell really
yeah,
really low. So I was trying to find things that parlay
yeah.
them with. So I hit the Bills too. So
Yeah, because I think that was after they lost to France
yeah,
in the
yeah, group
prelims.
stage, yeah.
Yeah. Let me do my divisions really quick. I have uh, Rams to win the NFC West at plus 200. I think that's some good value there. I think all those teams are plus value there too because you
Yeah,
just know who's going to win that one.
that's definitely goes to the wild wild west. I hate myself for saying that.
And then I got Browns to win the AFC North at plus 150.
I like that play a lot. I think one of mine I sprinkled in where if you go on DraftKings, you can see it doesn't matter what order they're in, but they're going to be finish the top two teams. I think
Mm.
Baltimore, Cleveland, whatever order you want, they're going to be the first two teams AFC North. And I think that was right around minus 125 off the top of my
Mine,
head.
it was. I think it
I-
was. I looked
yeah,
at today. I think it was minus 130.
okay.
But
But I think
yeah.
that's one of those. I like the Browns as well, and then the Ravens are very consistent with Harbaugh and good coaching staff. Lamar
Hmm.
Jackson, the offense is a little more revamped here, so I think again, I'm not afraid of Pittsburgh, Cincinnati. I think this is gonna be a again just Burrow throwing the
Bottom
ball
feeder.
for plays, bad defense still. So I think those two teams are definitely gonna finish 1-2, and I think the other one I sent you was the NFC North in exact order. And I had Packers, Bears, Vikings, and Lions. Lions were the easy pick as a bottom feeder to me. Packers were the easy pick as the winner. So it was really flipping the Bears versus the Vikings. And I think
Yeah,
Fields gives them more upside. I kind of like that fit. So I think the Bears could be a sneaky like 9-8 team.
yeah. And then you also put on here top two division, Kansas City and the LA Chargers at plus 120.
Yeah, that's another great one because I don't see the Broncos being that good, Drew Lock or Teddy Bridgewater, and then
No.
good defense, good receivers, but a lot of question marks in that team still. And then you throw in the Raiders, I do not care about at all. And so to me, it's like I'm then fighting between the Chargers and the Broncos. I like the Chargers roster construction, the talent, the coaching a lot more than Denver. So that's why I think that's another great value. You know, Chiefs are gonna be a top two for sure.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I like that one. And that's it on the divisions. Let's jump into the awards. I'm gonna do George's awards really quick.
He's like
Um,
Packers around this.
the awards? No, 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 no. He has his boy Saquon Barkley at comeback player of the year at plus 700.
Yep.
And then one player that I like is Chase Young for defensive player of the year. He has it at plus 850, but I was able to find it on FanDuel for even more value at plus 1100.
So yeah,
So if you
one
have
thing
FanDuel,
yeah, I'm saying one thing we should mention just in general is I'll do the same thing with other sporting things too. Is feel free to search around. Like we'll throw out, hey, we really like this guy at this like this guy at this, at plus 850. But maybe if you go on Points Bet, or maybe if you go on like a different a site you have, or like Fox Bet or something, they could have better odds. We were just kind of just trying to make them like as fast as we could roll through some things, but you could definitely find a better line somewhere else. So if you like one of the things we're saying, feel free to check around and see if you find a better odds elsewhere.
yeah, for sure. Um, yeah, so I definitely like Chase Young, like I said, at plus 1100. And then one more play that I think we like another play too is I have a dart throw on Herbert to win MVP at plus 2000.
So if that happens, it definitely would help my Justin Herbert over bets, which would be nice. And
Hmm.
but I think my dart throw was Stafford. And this is a little homer in me with my Rams, but I just look at it as I think defense is going to take a step back. I think the offensive line's question mark. I think the running game is going to be a question mark. I'm not a big Daryl Henderson guy. I think this is going to be his, lack of a better term, like a coming out party. We've already
Mm.
seen it. All the Lions fans, for years have been saying he does the same things Mahomes does. Doesn't get the credit. I think the LA market and a playoff contender with the weapons he has, he's going to get a lot of attention. And if the Rams are sitting there winning the NFC West late in the year and he's throwing close to 5,000 yards and 40 touchdowns, which is so reasonable, I think he's gonna be right in there in the MVP conversation. And the NFL doesn't like to do the same to the NBA, giving the MVP the same guys every year. So I don't
Yeah, they
know.
can't do that.
Maybe they don't want to give it to Mahomes or Lamar or Josh,
Brady, Rogers.
whoever. So maybe he's Stafford. This could be his coming out. I don't know. I just think it was 18-1 or roughly. I
18 to
I
1.
would yeah, I would no problem throwing a couple units on that.
Yeah, no, for sure. And then we both like Fields for rookie of the year at plus 650, but you said in Illinois you can get it at plus 850. That's crazy.
Yeah, so whether you're driving through Illinois or whether you like live in Illinois, just make sure you opt in for it. But they froze his odds after week one of the preseason, so he's still at plus 850. I put the max bet, it was only $25 you could put on it, but you could still bet him at 650 for a higher units. But $25 was the max you could put on it. I still hammer that. I think he's be week one starter, which I hope he's not because they're playing the Rams week one.
I don't think
But
it'll be week one starter. I think they're gonna wait.
I
I think they're gonna wait a little bit
that's
because
what hurt the because then all that's going to happen is Lawrence is going to accumulate so many stats that are just wasted stats. Where I think if Field starts week one, I think he's guaranteed rookie year.
as so here's my thing on it, and now we'll go to your defensive player play. But he won't start week one, which is fine. They make the playoffs, that he'll win offensive play or yeah, offensive rookie of the year or
Yeah,
rookie of the year. Yeah, yeah,
I
he'll win it.
he in this looking at talking the rookie class. I want to touch on it real quick. Just looking, we know Lawrence is one of the most sure things we've had since like Luck or insert whoever top young quarterback.
I mean,
You're not okay. So you're hesitant on it. I don't like Zach Wilson at all. I
I
never
hate
did.
Zach Wilson.
People already are complaining about him and at Jets camp already. And then Trey Lance, I don't know what to make of him. I love Shanahan at the same time. Like, is he really a quarterback guru? Like, is he really? Everyone's to claim.
No, Shanahan's a really good play caller. That's his calling card. He gets a little too conservative at certain points, like we saw in his two Super Bowl appearances. 28-3. Chiefs coming back. Winning that Super Bowl that he won against the Niners. So he needs to figure that out a little bit. But
Celebrating the Patriots. Yeah, it's
yeah,
it's one of those things where I think him and Jimmy G are more in a battle than Dalton and Fields are. I hate Nagy as the coach and play caller. I
I hate
just like
Nagy.
I like Montgomery to break out. I love A Rob. I like Fields' dual threat.
Mooney,
I liked him at Ohio State, even though
their
he's a
defense is
punk
good
guy.
too. So
And from what I saw in preseason against one game, not trying to overreact on it, I just feel like he has like a poise to him that I think he's gonna have some growing pains, of course, but for those odds, I definitely like it.
and then this is the last time I'm gonna say it. I'm kind of a nerd when it comes to high school football and whatever.
It
But
translates every time.
huh?
It always translates to the pros.
Always, always. No, but these guys, Lawrence and Fields, were 1 and 2 their whole life. They grew up in the same, not the same area, but they grew up, like 50 miles from each other. Their high school teams are pretty close. Elite 11 camp pretty close. And if Fields wouldn't have went to Georgia, if Fields didn't commit to Georgia, Lawrence would have went to Georgia. That's
Interesting.
how. Yeah. So Lawrence wasn't allowed to go. He only went to Clemson because Fields went to Georgia. So talking about
Dab,
your defensive
Dabo
player
was
of the year.
probably pretty happy about that.
Oh, he is for sure. What about your defensive player of the year?
So I had surprisingly not Aaron Donald. I had Miles Garrett. I think Aaron Donald's not gonna take a step back at all. It's just I think it's the same thing I just said about the MVP consideration. You get bored of giving MVP to LeBron James. You get bored of giving MVP to Patrick Mahomes, Peyton Manning every year. And Aaron Donald, I think, has won 3 of the last 4, I
Hmm.
believe. And I think he's going to be still a top player in the league. But Miles Garrett, when healthy last year, was on a pace that probably would have won Defensive Player of the Year. It's just he missed 3 or 4 games, and some of his his cumulative stats didn't match up to Donald, or like his pressures or his Pro Football Focus rating, all these other things.
Yeah.
I love that Browns defense. It's loaded. The Rams took a step back in talent wise defensively. And I just think that the fresh name, they love to hear the next big thing. I think it's be Miles Garrett, another guy coming out party. I think definitely, I think it's similar. I think it's right there with Donald the odds, but I think Miles Garrett's gonna be a huge year, like 20 sacks, maybe even two. I might sprinkle that in too. I said it.
Hey, I
Sack
can't hate
leader,
that.
sack leader. Can I parlay all these? I don't know. Defensive player, sack leader. I don't know. Can I do all
I
these?
mean, listen, man, check out FanDuel because I was very surprised. I was able to parlay for George, put that parlay in for George. Yeah, George, I actually played that parlay, George, just so you know. I put a I put a nice unit on that parlay. Um, we want to talk about your comeback player of the years really quick, and I'm gonna jump to games of the week next.
I just thought there was too many guys when I started to list them all because
Yeah, that's fine.
you have Dak coming back, but he looks a little banged up still. You have Burrow's an option. You have Barkley's an option. The one random guy who, like, if he has like a defensive player of the year type season, Derwin James. He's underrated, one of the best safeties in the league before he got hurt. He's got hurt back to back seasons. If he stays healthy, and Brandon Staley, again, if you watch that Rams defense last year, what he can do,
Hmm.
maybe he turns Derwin James into that next tier, and then comeback for the year doesn't seem that bad at I think 16-1.
16-1. Yeah, I can't hate that at all. Um, really quick, two games of week one that I like a lot, and I wish I would have. I think I sent you this game.
I gotta look at the schedule. I don't have it in front of me. Let me
That's
see.
fine. It was Green Bay versus New Orleans. You could have got Green Bay at plus 3.5 when Aaron Rodgers was when
TBD.
yeah, TBD. You could have hammered it. I didn't hammer it because I was like, I really don't like. I thought he would play, but I'm like, I really don't know if he'll play. Like, I really don't know. So right now, so I actually got it at minus 2.5. But right now it's sitting at -3, and I still like it at -3. Um, I think they're a lock to win that game. I don't see them losing. Granted, it's on the road against New Orleans, but we don't even know who New Orleans starting quarterback is going to be. No Michael Thomas. You know what I mean? So I can't hate
So
that.
I have
Then
no idea what the. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say
You good?
I had one or Tennessee versus Arizona week 1. I like Tennessee -3.
So I have no idea what the odds are because I just pulled the schedule real quick in front of me. Jaguars over here. I hate Houston this season, so I might bet against them every single game. So I'll probably take the spread and the money line with the Jags there. And then I feel like San Fran over
What's
Detroit.
an early season matchup on tailor-made?
San Fran over Detroit's an easy one.
Oh.
And then
which one are you taking on that side? Are you taking San Francisco?
You have the line in front of me. I can get it if I have to. But
yeah, I got you. The line for San Francisco Lions is +7.5.
What's the over under? Isn't it like 46? I think. So I would hammer that under.
Hold on.
I don't see the Lions scoring many points this season with a run-first offense, no receivers, and Jared Goff is their quarterback.
Under 40 or 45.5.
Yeah, I think that's. I'll take the under in that game.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I can't hate that. I was thinking about taking the Lions +7.5, and I talked myself off of it. I'm like, don't do that. Don't be a homer. Don't do that. Yeah. What was the other game you were asking about?
What's the Ravens Raiders on Monday Night Football? I saw that game caught my eye. What was the line on that?
Week 1, right?
Yeah.
Line is 4.5.
So I'd probably hit the Ravens there just because I don't think the Raiders are done to me. Carr's be on his way out. Their team was offensive line. They just ravaged that in the offseason. The defense, I don't care about their defense at all. Their receivers, John Brown's out there? Who cares? Henry Ruggs, who cares? These guys are just mad at the player with 98 speed. They're not going to do anything.
They're not good.
Cool. You have Ian Drake and Josh Jacobs. Oh, I'm really scared of that two-head monster.
Yeah. Well, be careful. George loves Josh Jacobs.
I'm going to attack this guy here. George also told us that David Johnson is going to be a top 20 running back last year.
Oh man, you can't do that. He's not here to defend himself.
He's in the chat. He can hear it.
Oh shoot. I think that's it, man. Or no, sorry. George has some Super Bowl picks.
Oh, he said he's on top. He said top 10. David Johnson, top 10 running back.
Top 10.
What is it? 2006 or 16?
2016. George being a complete homer here has Green Bay +1,300 to win the Super Bowl and Green Bay NFC winner at +600. So
the NFC winner, I'm not completely against. The Super Bowl one, it's not bad odds. To me, it's very hard to predict. I want to at least see some of these teams play a little bit, then I'll make a future in like October on a Super Bowl winner. Where I think right now it's a little too early for me to touch one of those.
And then he has I forgot to mention this in divisions, but Pittsburgh to win +500.
Oh, so I just already mentioned I am completely against that. Cleveland, I think, Cleveland and Baltimore have an easy path. Big Ben's, I don't care about. It reminds me of some teams we touched on. Pittsburgh did not fix any of the issues of why they fell apart last year. They kept all they did was get Najee Harris, but the problem is if you know offensive line, Big Ben's still your quarterback. I mean, they got a great defense, I get that, and they have talented receivers, but they're a team to me it's flawed, and I think they'll finish 500 again, but I like Baltimore and Cleveland, just both coaching, both in talent, just almost all facets of the game.
Definitely a talent. Pittsburgh has a pretty good coach. I respect Mike Tomlin a lot.
Oh, so do I. They'll finish 500. It's just the way that I don't see them. What happened to them at the end of last season, I see continuing to this season.
Bet. All right, that's it, man. That's the first show. We'll try to do it again next week. Try to find. Next week might be a little tough because we got week 0, so we might be able to touch on a couple of those games next week.
Preseason, yeah. So I mean,
yeah, it's still preseason. I mean, also I do like the Lions preseason game against the Steelers. I actually did bet that game. I put it out there on Twitter. I got it at +7. Right now it's +6.5.
Whoa.
So
getting the value early. You think,
trying to get the value early. It's -110. Pittsburgh. This is Pittsburgh's third preseason game. Lions second, so Pittsburgh might be sitting their players. So that's all that's my thinking. It's nothing other than that. Just Pittsburgh might be resting their players, their starters, their good players. Lions is their second preseason game. They probably want to see more. Because this year is weird because we don't. It's only 3 preseason games. We used to be 4, and we knew that game 3 was the dress rehearsal. But so it's a little weird.
I'm on the side of teams like Sean McVay. If the Rams said, as long as I'm head coach, you'll never see Matthew Stafford in a preseason game. That's my kind of coach. I don't want any of my good players in preseason.
And I think the Lions are starting to do some similar stuff to that. I think they only play Jared Goff because see what we have in Jared Goff, new quarterback, new coaching staff. See what we have. I think if it was like 2 years down the line, I don't think you'll see anyone.
New offense, new terminology, just that kind of stuff. New center exchange, all that kind of your nomenclature, all that kind of jazz.
Yeah, that's it. All right, well, I appreciate it, Matt. Thanks for hopping in. Thanks for everybody else hopping in.
Thank you to the Gridiron Guy. It was a pleasure being on here. Long-time listener, second-time caller now coming in here.
Hey, maybe
thank George for having me call in and be a replacement George. So I mean, I did the best I could.
You might be on the show for the future, George. George might be tapping you in.
We'll see what the fans say. We'll see what the reviews say. Or if the
we got
it too.
Exactly, we got to start seeing our picks hit. Yeah, we won't. I mean, we probably won't give you a crap ton of picks once the season starts. Just give you our
I was saying when I called in last year, again, it was a biased pick, but I told you guys Cam Akers is going to break out, and he did. So I was definitely on top of it. Any of the fantasy wares or trade markets, make sure you hop on him. He's going to be the bell cow for them. And he turned into a second half. Could have won you a fantasy championship. I don't know. Just saying.
Not me. I didn't win the championship last year. I came in second. So. Hey, yeah, the guy had Cam Akers. So. All right. Thanks for you guys listening. Appreciate it. Peace. Hey, yo, Matt, you ready to go bowling?
Oh yeah. Are you going? How far away are you from the alley?
It's about 10-minute drive. 5-minute drive for me. I hop on the freeway.
All right, hell yeah. Want to meet you in the parking lot then?
Yeah, you got your parents, right?
Yeah.
Right,
so I'm going bowling from there. Then I'm just going back to my brother's afterwards. So if you want to tag along to that, if you're allowed to or not, but
I'll see. I haven't been to your brother's house. I might have to. I'm going to spy. I know all your plans. What are you talking about, Gore? Interesting. All right. Well, yeah, no. I'll see about that. I might have to stay for a little bit. Why not?
All right. Good shit. I'll be in the parking lot.
All right, bro. Later.